Cause you were kind of just the sick or
A little bit. I'm getting over it.
this yeah.
I'm now back to like being okay enough. But some of those notes were a little shaky towards the end because I was my throat isn't where it needs to be. But I kind of worked around it, so I'm happy I did what I did.
Have you been practicing?
So, yeah.
We got audio. I'm always paranoid about that.
Okay.
All right. Hi, good evening and welcome. I'm here today with Adam. Adam is a local artist of the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, and he sings R&B.
Yes.
He sings Latin pop or
Latin R&B.
Latin R&B, and he has an upcoming trip to Japan.
Yes.
Latin R&B, not like Aventura, right? That's bachata or
kind of like bachata, but I do bachata music. But Latin R&B is R&B music, but you're singing in Spanish.
Yeah. Okay.
And, yeah.
Who are some of the R&B artists that kind of inspired you? Yeah.
So obviously,
like 2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to get too technical,
but
I'll start with the 3 in my opinion. Bobby Brown, from Don't Be Cruel, my favorite personal album, got me into doing R&B gateway. Babyface and John B.
Okay.
And then of course, I always got to represent Michael Jackson. So
so
I know it's 4, but those are kind of 4.
And your style, by the way, is definitely has like your the persona of Michael Jackson. There's a style to it. There's a theme to it. You're rocking it. Yeah. And is your trip to Japan work related, music related as well?
Half and half. It's more where the money's coming from is going to be teaching. I'm teaching English.
Okay.
So I'm doing English for the Nova Corporation.
Gotcha.
And they want a full immersion. They didn't want anybody speaking Japanese for that specific thing because they hear it all the time. So they wanted someone who speaks entirely in English, full immersion. So
that shouldn't be a problem. Right?
No, you start from the ABCs and you go up, and you have a book that you kind of follow.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to work with the kids and adults and everything.
Okay. You understand Japanese a little bit?
I know words. Some. My girl can speak fluent Japanese, so at an 8th grade level. So she's been doing it a long time. I mean, I try, but it's like those apps. And I can do it if I'm dedicated, but sometimes I'm just like, it's hard to keep a consistency.
I wonder if this trip, because you're supposed, it has a guideline, like this is strictly, you have to be speaking English to them. But I wonder if submerging yourself into the Japanese culture in Japan, how many years is this? Or how many
It's only months? It's only 1 year.
I wonder how much of that will just filter, because the grocery store, when you go to the grocery store,
I mean, you like
how much that will stick to you,
Well, yeah, I'm sure it will, because even some simple words that you can get by, like convenience store or like cardo, like stuff like that, like words that you'll pick up along the way. And just kind of like you get immersed in a country and a culture. Like, this fun fact is that if you were out there when I was singing in Spanish, I actually don't speak Spanish. I sing and I just like Selena.
Oh, okay. But you're singing in Spanish.
Yes.
But you don't speak Spanish.
No.
So how does that work?
Well, a few reasons. So it's kind of like if you know the song's originality, like in English, most of the time you already kind of know the diction and the words meaning behind it. And I'm not saying I'm 100% clueless. Like, I grew up with Spanish stuff, so I can get in a conversational level. I understand like the general idea of what it is. So, but really, Spanish is about inflections, and it's about, you kind of get to that, you kind of know how to pick the emotion based off the beat, and that's sort of like where it sort of picks up for me.
That's a really beautiful,
interesting way to go around it, especially because I like to shout myself out, and I always like to. I'm the only artist, and you can even look it up, I'm the only artist to ever cover Bobby Brown in Spanish, the only artist ever to cover John B in Spanish, the only one. And
are you your work, by the way, where can your viewers find your work?
You can find me on my Instagram. I'm very active on there, adamm_official, but also my YouTube page, Adam Music, just ADDAM space music. I've been very lax recently because I do have some things in the pipeline with some advice from a guy that I'm working with in the business that I'm hoping we get started soon. But he's pretty well connected, and if we do stuff, like, I'm really gonna take off.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, now that you know that's coming up, right? Mm-hmm. This upbeat. Do you have a game plan? Because a lot of people, once they make it up there, they They say, I wish I could have managed my money better. They said,
Sure.
I wish, self-care, the drugs, the lifestyle,
Sure.
all of that may be out there. So do
Yeah.
you like ever have a talk with yourself as to like, hey,
If I get to that point,
because you said you
I
probably
already know what I would do. To be honest, I
Good for you.
unfortunately, just like any American, sometimes I want things I don't have the money for, relying on credit cards and loans. And I can tell you how many times I've gotten myself into debt, not just my student loans, but just in general. My heart is bigger than my wallet sometimes, and I want to do a lot of stuff. And unfortunately, I don't always have the ability to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So keeping it realistic, that I probably would have my mom manage my money. Because,
shout out to mom.
Yeah, my mom is an accountant.
Shout out to you for knowing what your weakness is, and you're like gonna face
sometimes I want, and sometimes I know I should say no, but
I
can't help myself.
And with all these deals going on, sale and this and that, they do a pretty good job of grabbing our attention. So you're the only singer out there who sings Bobby Brown in Spanish.
Yes.
And
John B.
And John B.
Yes.
And this do you just use Google Translate to translate?
No. It doesn't really work like that.
It won't grab it.
Because, for example, if you say, like, one of the words in my songs has baby in it, you can't say baby because it doesn't translate correctly. It would translate to actual, like, niño or something like that.
Do you say amor?
Yeah, that can work, but the guy, his name is Joshua Rodriguez, he does a lot of my translations.
Okay.
So it makes it so that he can do it. Even songs that aren't covers, I'll have him write things in Spanish for me.
Yeah, and I'm sure. How many songs do you have so far that you've translated? Because it must be in itself a step.
Yeah.
Translate, find the track, know it, love it, translate it.
So I have, with the exception of the 2 cover songs, which are in Spanish, the original pieces I have that are in Spanish. I have about maybe 4 songs that are Spanish based.
Okay.
Esta noche, eres todo, then contigo, like those songs. They're all 2 bachata. One's an R&B track, and then the other one is a electronic dance track.
Do you know how to dance bachata as well?
I really want to learn. I know basic stuff.
Yeah.
Basic. And I was actually getting really good at doing it. I just think it's about not being so lazy.
I know like the basic one, but I've seen people who do it really well.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, my gosh, it's
like
actually
mind blowing.
Yeah.
I mean, some people, dancing wise, it's not really their thing. I mean, today I tried to make my performance like really intimate, just stationary, because I don't really. I want people to kind of focus on the voice, because as a singer, you're always conscious of other people, and you want to be the best you can possibly be.
Yeah. How long have you been on stage? Like, how long in your life have you been, going up on stage and performing?
I think starting back, I wasn't a singer first. I was a dancer first.
Oh,
I said Michael Jackson because I used to be an impersonator.
Yeah.
I did that for 5 years, 15 years old, and now I've been performing for 15 plus years.
Okay.
I mean, obviously it takes a long time before you can make it. But back then, I mean, when I was dancing, I had gotten really close to like Sergio Cortez, who's the biggest Spanish Michael Jackson impersonator in the world.
Okay.
Like at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I stopped doing it. I guess I should have kept up with it, but I didn't really want to be a Michael Jackson impersonator anymore. I mean, I loved doing it, but it's just kind of like you get stuck with one thing over and over and over again. You get kind of tired of it.
You wanted to bring some other flavors.
Yeah, and then I went to contemporary style dance and a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I'm self-taught in a lot of things I do. I think if I had an actual choreographer and stuff, I'd be better, because everybody has somebody behind them to make them great.
Yeah, but sometimes that self-made also has its own flavor.
It does.
The choreographer sometimes may say, well, they're doing it like this, and they might shape you, but then, like you started off as a dancer, if you would have locked in as a dancer to a dancer choreographer.
Right.
You would never have tapped into your singing of music in Spanish.
Oh,
singing Bobby Brown in Spanish.
Yeah, sorry. I thought we were going to put a headset on, because last time we had a headset. That's why I took off my hat.
No, it's okay. It's the headset and this microphone just would make me nervous all the time.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes it would be muted, so I just brought my own microphone.
I love it, and it's so much better.
It's a little bit less messier.
Oh
Right?
yeah, no, I think getting rid of clutter is always good.
Thank you.
Trust me.
You said something earlier about like, I've just been doing this for a long time, and I'm
Yes.
just like, so you definitely know about perseverance, right? Could you share with our viewers, because perseverance can be applied to all avenues of life, all
Yeah.
all types of efforts.
Mhm.
So, what was your journey in perseverance like?
I
Were there
mean,
times where you were just like, oh,
yeah, I think that is my mom can tell you, and I can tell you more than anybody. And it's I started very late. I know if you were there and you saw me sing, you would have not find it believable when I say that. Not in an arrogant way, but I'm just being honest.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I started when I was like 20. I didn't sing. I always dancing, yes, but singing was late. A lot of people sing when they're like kids. I
Yeah.
didn't do any of that, and
They begin
I
to
should
work
have.
that muscle.
Yeah, and I believe I'm the type of believer, but we'll get to what I was going to say. So it doesn't really matter. It's when you start. But anyways, as far as perseverance, I mean, just in general, the desire to want to do it. I think more than anything, make it. I'm the firm believer that you want to make something you love your job.
Yeah.
And some people don't see it that way because they're like, oh, I want to do it fun. I want to do a career. To me, that's preposterous. Like anybody will tell you if they want to do it, that'll make it a job. But as far as being told you suck, being told that you're terrible, you're pitchy, like you sound awful, like over and over and over again.
That's
And
gonna bring
even
down
they're
your
breaking
spirit.
down, and saying that you can't do it on your own and things. And I wanted to do group stuff, and unfortunately lied to a few times, and people bring your self confidence down.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the time and you don't have to be a songwriter to want to do music to be successful, because there's tons of people who have tons of writers, even some of your favorites. That
Yeah.
believe it or not, whoever your favorite is has tons of writers.
Writers, yeah.
And that's just how it is. But the perseverance came from just wanting to generally do it. And even at times I want to give up, because it's just like you get let down by so many people in the business over and over and over again, and then you pay a few thousand here and a few thousand there, and I was like, oh, things are going to happen, and then they don't, and then you're waiting months and months and months, and then you start getting agitated, you start getting annoying, because you keep like saying, are we going to work or we're not? So
Yeah.
if you have drive to do something, you got to stick with it.
Yeah.
No matter how hard the road seems. Killer Mike, I don't listen to rap that much.
Yeah.
The new stuff, especially Killer Mike, is like 39, and he just got his Grammy, so it's very possible. And who knows, maybe next year or this year will be my year. I mean, everybody says that every time, but I really do feel once the pieces of emotion, the perseverance of all that time,
Yeah.
and my mom even starting to now really say, maybe it's time to look at some other avenues, kind of like makes me concerned. But I do feel like once your time, that's what I feel.
You don't want to bet on plan B. You want to go for plan A. This
Absolutely.
is what your heart is.
Yeah, I mean, I did the school. I got the master's for her.
Yeah.
So now she can stop badgering me about my school and be
Come
like,
on,
backup plan.
Mom. Come on, Mom.
But I mean, I'm glad I have that, certainly. But I mean, it's not something I really wanted to get. But I did it because.
And good for you for still pursuing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're rich, and I don't see a need for it, unless you just want to do it for just for fun. But
Yeah. Well, even rich people may have the problem of comfort,
Yeah.
But what you're doing is striving, going out there. So you changed over to singing in 20.
Yes.
And then the vocal cords, the muscle and such. When did you develop the confidence that I got this?
I think, I'll be honest with you, it was a lot of
training and practicing.
Vocal coaches, singing in my Baptist church for quite a few years.
Yeah. The choir.
Throwing your voice out, doing all the wrong things, and even today I still picked up the wrong things. But listening to your favorite artist over and over again, like you pick up habits and you start trying to. The best way to get a solid foundation is mimicking the artist that you like to sing like. I know that sounds weird, but what makes you a good artist, and a lot of people will tell you, you listen to like Babyface and you're just like John B, and you listen to the way they do their inflections, and you try to copy their notes and you try to do it. Eventually your voice will catch on because you're developing and working it out. But I can tell you it was not easy. I do listen back. I was horrible. Like, and you don't realize that at the time, but it's just kind of like, I think at the 6th year,
you see
maybe 7th, I was like, okay, now I'm starting to sound like I'm okay. And there was a lot of people along the way that helped me develop that talent. And you have to find songs that, and I don't care what anybody says, there are some songs that are not fit for your voice, and that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But going from there, it's all part of the process,
Yeah.
and some people don't know that.
So there are some artists that from a young age they're like, oh, this person's talented or a natural, and then they just kind of sway through. But yours is a different process. Yours,
Yes.
you're making yourself. You
Yeah.
know. So are there artists out there like that who have taken that route and become that type?
I think, to be more specific, I think for me, I think maybe I always had it,
But you never, yeah.
but I didn't develop it. And I only say that because in my family on the Latin side, there's a Grammy Award winner on the Latin
Oh,
side, and is David Lee Garza.
okay.
I don't personally know him, but he lives in El Paso,
Yeah, and
and
that's
it's
your
really
close
cool.
family. Yeah.
Close, I wouldn't say close. It's my mom's side, and
Yeah.
but I feel like music is always instilled in me, in my DNA. I just feel like it's not something I ever even pursued, because I just didn't at the time. I mean, honestly, I really only thing is everybody says it regrets, but I feel like
Yeah.
when even back in high school, I should have done music. That's what I should, because even back then I wasn't good, but it was like
But you were doing dancing at 15,
it was.
so it was a different part. Yeah.
I was, but it should have been. I should have been with the choirs. I should have been.
It's
I should have done it.
okay.
Yeah, I know, but you look back at your life and you think, well, everything's a process in life.
Yeah, yeah. Now you know for a fact that you're not a dancer, or you have some dancing rhythm to you.
Oh yeah, no,
and maybe the dancing, the rhythm helped you become a different type of singer. You know what I mean?
I still look, and even I'll fully admit, I still have issues. Being sometimes timing is off a little bit,
Yeah.
but that's all practice. I mean, it's not your favorite artist even to this day will still have issues. There are always going to be problems, whether it's the sound system or you can't hear yourself,
You gotta keep up
onto it, and you got to keep going at it. I think
Yeah.
sometimes people get very lazy because if something's not going on, you always got to stay ready. I think sometimes for me, I'm at the point where I practice when I need to,
But
not when I'm like not doing anything, because I feel like it's not, especially if I'm like potentially looking forward to something and nothing happens, I kind of get really bummed out. You know what I mean?
I think that I watched some of the active comedians or interview, and they said that even 15 seconds on the stage is just take that. I think some really, maybe it was Dave Chappelle or somebody who had given that advice. Any time on that stage, just grab it and rock it out, because that's how you build practice.
So if you don't mind me asking, what are you from?
Where am I from? Like I was born in Nepal.
Nepal?
I was born in Nepal. Yeah, I came here when I was 13 in this area.
Okay, and the reason I say that is because I've seen every one of his specials, but speaking of stand-up comedy, I'm gonna see Joe Coy. Joseph, like Joe Coy. He's a really funny Filipino comedian. Okay. You should check his stuff out. He's funny, but he said the same thing. He's always out there on stage, and he was doing big shows and stuff. Obviously, the small stuff first, and then but the stuff on Netflix, and he's been doing everything. Check him out. He's funny, but seeing where he's doing arenas and things like that, he's developed that talent, that skill. It's kind of like,
and like you were saying, like sometimes you were looking forward to a big, something to be big, but it doesn't turn out. But you just showing up and giving it and delivering it, you'll never know when that big moment happens. You're so you've been persevering all these years. It's been like your temple. Right, you've been devoted to it.
Right, and I want to interject and say that I've become very close friends with my big influence, John B. I actually have become friends with him, and I think the one thing I've learned more than anything is that you can't always expect something out of a relationship. Unfortunately, I still consider him a brother. I consider him someone I really look up to, but I feel like utilizing someone just because of who they are doesn't really equate to success. As much as you want to do stuff, doesn't always necessarily means that it's gonna benefit you.
Okay.
Maybe it'll benefit you, but not benefit the other person.
Okay.
So I think it's important that you respect the boundaries that you set with the people that you work with, or potentially in the future, and then respect you more for that. Because if you utilize someone just because of their name, I think covering someone's song or having them produce for you is more rewarding, in my opinion, than being an opening act. Because I think that getting them to do something for you is like, okay, cool. Well, you still get to have a piece of their legacy.
Yeah.
And even me covering his song. When I met him, he let me cover any one of his songs, no paying no mechanical royalties or anything.
Yeah.
Or no paying for the clearance, which can be a very expensive endeavor. I know that for a fact.
Okay. When are you heading out to Japan?
I leave March. It was March 1st, but now March 6th.
Hey, it's coming up.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to?
I think I've been there before. Actually, it's an impromptu thing here. I want to show you something because I'd gone before.
Okay. As a teacher or no?
No, just for fun.
Okay.
And let's see. I always do favorites. There we go. So show you real quick. So this is me in Shiba Cafe.
That's you.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. And it's
Shiba
a cat. Why is it called a Shiba Cafe?
because it's dogs, Shiba dogs, Shiba Inu.
Is it like what is it called in America? Like is it like those shelters or no?
No. It's like where you
Oh.
get to pet with the dogs.
What are they doing there?
No, it's a cafe, like a cafe where you would like drink like coffee and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, but it's called a Shiba Cafe.
Yeah.
Shiba dog.
Shiba-
Cafe.
Yeah, they have one for every type of dog. Like
That is yeah.
it's cute.
That is very cute. Okay. Did you feel like in Japan? I was there for a very short period. It's like everybody. You look. Do you feel like you look different? You know, you look different compared to your.
A little bit, but I feel like because I am Asian, I'm Middle Eastern,
Oh,
I
okay.
am Persian, and along with Hispanic, I feel like I fit in with them more
Yeah,
than
yeah.
other people. And I feel like Japanese people like me because I generally feel like I fit in with their mold in terms
Okay.
of that. I will, you can, just like any culture, but Japan, they do embrace people that have similar vibes to them. I mean, you got to respect that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some people who are from here don't really understand that, and they get offended. And I'm like, well, you can't be offended because you have a very much America's very much it's our way or the highway type of deal.
You like look. The idea is like you leave America, but you're looking for America in foreign.
Like right, and people
Yeah.
are complaining about why don't they have my shoe size? I'm like,
Yeah.
well, you're not from there. They're not catering to you. So just
Exactly.
understand.
Pack well.
Understand that.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward because do you play video games or?
No, I don't.
One of my friends, his name is Sakito Suyoshi. He's a very well-known composer for Square Enix. He's been working with them since like the 80s.
Okay.
But he's a very well-known guy over there in terms of what he's done in the industry, and he's one of my friends. So I feel good to hang out with him again. And
That's what's up. Yeah.
you know, when you
Are you gonna be stationed in Tokyo?
no, I'm flying to Osaka, then I'm going to Niigata.
Okay.
So
Is that like a town or is that a city?
that's kind of like countryside.
nice.
They're kind of nice. You can take in planes to fly anywhere. It's
Yeah.
really cheap too.
Yeah. All right. Well, we should wish you all the best in this 1 year as a teacher, as a mentor for these young Japanese who want to learn English.
3 to 99 actually.
What is that?
3 to 99.
That's the age.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Okay,
it's not
okay.
just kids; it's adults.
So it's not like a school setting. It's like a very.
No, it's like an office almost.
Oh wow.
Which I kind of like that idea. To be honest, and
Oh, why?
the ones I'm a little more worried about are like the 3-year-olds because it's like I don't work with young kids,
Mhm.
and I generally don't do that just because like there's so much more baggage
That
comes with working with children. But apparently their parents go with them, which is good because
Yeah,
I
of
would rather
course.
them focus.
Of course.
And like for example, it's like you write lion, like a cat, like a
Yeah.
lion, and you want to do like rawr, like type of
Yeah.
kind of like give them an idea of what lion
It'll be
is.
more animated, maybe.
A little bit,
Yeah.
yeah. With more of like the adults, you want to be more mature with your conversations.
Yeah. So one of the things that we've been promoting at Preach with Prak, especially for the New Year's resolution or having a goal, and you have this new endeavor coming up. I've been promoting 3 themes,
Mhm.
and we'll see which one. But do you journal? Do you write your thoughts down? And
I used to. I think I'm going to start doing that.
Yeah.
I've been actually getting more on my live game in terms of just like Instagram.
Okay.
Kind of vlogging my journey on what I do.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Keeping people, keeping in touch with what I do, and it feels pretty gratifying in that way.
And you can see yourself grow too over time.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be on Live Me a lot, and that was fun. But
yeah. Do you see your old videos?
Oh God, sometimes it's like I understand why people cringe at some of their stuff.
But but at least you had the courage to look at it, and
Oh,
at least you
yeah.
had the courage to like record, document yourself.
Newer stuff, I get but I'm never ashamed of my past. I mean, it depends on what the past is.
Yeah. But even for the shameful past, to find yourself out of it again is more rewarding.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's been a pleasure talking
Yes,
to you,
absolutely.
Adam, and good luck with
Yeah.
Japan, and good luck with your singing life.
Oh yeah,
You're singing, you're singing your musical life that's waiting for you.
I have a good feeling about some stuff, but we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I think everything is all. What are you going to do it, or are you actually going to? Are you just going to talk? Because I think
no, you're shoveling the snow. You're doing the work.
Look, I trust me. I don't know. Is this a censored podcast?
No, go for it.
Okay. listen, I'm on people's ass. Okay,
There you
listen,
go, man.
listen. You basically want to like I give people a heads up, want a restraining order against me if I want to work with you because it's like you gotta. If I'm very
Yeah.
much I love
Persistent, yeah,
hard. I give
initiative.
hard. Like I will give you everything I have
Yeah,
if you give me everything you have.
yeah,
And if you
yeah.
promise me something, we do business together. I have expectations.
There you go. Yeah,
And I feel like
most definitely.
some people don't like that and they think it isn't
Hard
being as annoying.
nose,
But
hard nose.
listen, I come from a place, and I don't want to keep it too long, but I come from a place of anguish in terms of I've gotten scammed a few thousand here, a few thousand there, and when that happens to me quite a number of times, I think you get to a point where you get very angry because you took advantage of my dream and you
Yeah,
poo poo on that, and then your mom finds out that you're spending thousands of dollars and you're getting screwed, and it's just like
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I
It's
know it's not like
disappointing.
$10,000 or nothing like that, but it's like you spent all this money for a hope and a prayer, and
Yeah,
it's just like sometimes that's what derails people, and
yeah.
for
Of
me, it
course.
kind of like it hasn't derailed me. So
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
got your spirit up. Yeah, that's
yeah,
good to see, and you really do. So, and maybe that challenge was necessary to give you that hard nose. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's
Oh, I like
necessary
that
for
phrase.
business, right? It's
Gotta have tough
necessary.
skin,
Yes, yes.
and just accept sometimes people are not going to like your voice and what you do.
Yeah,
I've been laughed in front of my face. I mean,
yeah.
it's that's and sometimes it's for every and I'll say this too. Last thing, for every 100 people that love you, the two people, but the two people that in the audience that don't, you focus on them
For whatever reason, man.
because
Yeah,
it's like you want everybody to love you because they don't do what you do. But
yeah.
it's like at the end of the day, you have 98% that loves you, so why focus on the two?
Yeah, come on, Adam. Yeah, you know what to do. Yeah, you know you've come a long way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you get to a certain age, like
Keep
I'm
yourself,
age,
of
it's like
course.
I'm
Yeah.
grown. I'm like I don't have time to deal with you assholes. Like it's just like
Keep
you.
your head. Yeah, I feel like the open mic audience here, they're very
Yeah.
respectful.
I think this is the first time any open mic I've done where I have not felt nervous
Yeah, wow.
because
Yeah.
I just feel like
You're home.
yeah, but at the same time I feel like I haven't performed in a while, and I think the more
And
you
you
do
felt
it,
confident when you came out. You were like, I feel good.
yeah, I do, and it's like this is the first time in a while. But yeah, well,
Congratulations
but
on
thank you
that.
for this interview.
Of course, and congratulations on your endeavors, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we do a photo?